Have you ever noticed this strange feeling? You're listening to someone speak English and you understand almost everything. The words make sense in your head. You're thinking, yes, I know this. I've learned this before. But when it's your turn to speak, something happens. Your mouth stays closed. Your mind suddenly feels crowded. Not empty, crowded. Too many thoughts at the same time. You want to say something simple, but you don't know where to start. And that moment, it passes.
And later, maybe when you're alone, you replay it in your head. You think, why didn't I speak? You knew the words, you understood the question, but you stayed silent. If that sounds familiar, we want you to know something right away. You are not alone. This happens to so many English learners, even people who have studied for years.
Some people think this problem means my English is bad, but that's not true. Very often, it means something else. It means you know English, but you don't feel safe using it yet. And today, that's exactly what we want to talk about. Not grammar rules, not long vocabulary lists, but the real reason speaking feels hard, and what you can do about it in a simple human way.
So if you're listening to this while walking, sitting on a bus, cooking, or just resting, relax your shoulders a little. You don't need to take notes. You don't need to memorize anything right now. Just listen like you're listening to two friends talking with you, not teaching you.
Let me introduce ourselves quickly. My name is James.
And I'm Laura.
We're not here to sound perfect. We're not here to speak fast or show off. We're here to talk with you, because we know what it feels like to get stuck inside your own head when you want to speak.
And the topic today is simple but powerful. You know English, but you can't speak. And if you watch or listen to this once with the right mindset, it can change how you approach speaking practice from today.
Let's talk about why this topic really matters. Speaking is not just another skill. Speaking is how you connect. It's how you make friends, explain yourself, ask for help, and feel confident in daily life. Sincerely, you can read English and still feel lonely. You can understand English and still feel invisible. But when you speak, even a little, you start to feel present.
Many learners tell us the same thing. They say, when I listen, I'm fine. When I read, I'm fine. But when I speak, my brain freezes. This happens because speaking is real time. There's no pause button in a conversation, and that pressure creates fear.
Fear of mistakes, fear of sounding stupid, fear of being judged. And here's something important. That fear doesn't mean you're weak. It means you care. It means you want to do well. But caring too much can block your voice.
Yes, and another reason this happens is how English is often taught. Many people learn English silently. They study rules, they translate in their head, they prepare perfect sentences before speaking. But real conversation doesn't work like that. Native speakers don't build sentences like math problems. They speak in pieces, in feelings, in simple thoughts.
So, let's slow this down and look at the first step. Step 1 is understanding a very simple truth. Speaking is not the same as knowing. Knowing lives in your head. Speaking lives in your body, your mouth, your breath, your rhythm. You can't think your way into speaking. You have to practice being imperfect out loud.
And that sounds scary, right? Let's make it smaller. When we say speaking, we don't mean giving a speech or debating big ideas. We mean tiny moments, saying, I'm not sure, saying, let me think, saying, can you repeat that? Important. These are real English. These are powerful sentences.
Here's something many learners don't realize. Silence feels bigger to you than it does to other people. Inside your head, silence feels like failure, but to the other person, it's often just a pause, a normal pause. Native speakers pause all the time.
Exactly. And another big problem is self-translation. You think in your language, then you try to change it into English, then you check the grammar, then you check pronunciation, and by the time you're ready, the moment is gone.
So for now, we want you to stop trying to sound smart. Smart English is not the goal. Clear, simple English is the goal. Connection is the goal. One honest sentence is better than 10 perfect sentences that stay in your head.
Let's try something together, just mentally. Imagine someone asks you, "How was your day?" Many learners think they need a long answer, but real English answers are often short. "It was busy. Pretty good. A bit stressful, but okay." That's it. That's real speaking.
And notice something else. Those answers are not fancy. They're not impressive, but they work. And working English builds confidence. Confidence comes after you speak, not before.
I love this idea, and I want to share a simple quote that we often remind ourselves of. Fluency grows when fear gets bored of stopping you. Fear gets boring when you keep speaking anyway.
That's powerful. Because fear doesn't disappear first. You move with it, you speak with it, and slowly it loses control.
In the next part, we're going to break this down even more. We'll talk about how to practice speaking when you're alone, what to say when your mind goes blank, and how to sound natural without memorizing scripts.
But for now, just take this with you. You don't need more English. You need more permission to use the English you already have.
Exactly. And if this first part already feels like it's describing you, that's a good sign. It means you're in the right place.
When you're ready, tell us to continue and we'll move into part 2. Before we move forward, let me ask you something gently. Have you ever practiced English a lot, but only in your head? You imagine conversations. You imagine perfect answers. You imagine yourself speaking clearly and confidently. But when real life comes, your voice feels smaller than your thoughts.
If that's you, please don't feel embarrassed. This is one of the most common habits we see, and it comes from a good place. You want to be ready. You want to be correct. You want to protect yourself from mistakes. But this habit quietly trains your brain to stay silent.
Yes. And today, in this part, we want to help you break that silence safely, not by pushing you too hard, not by forcing confidence, but by changing how you practice speaking.
Let's talk about step 2, learning to speak before your sentence feels ready. That sounds dangerous, right? But real speaking doesn't wait for perfection. Real speaking begins with half ideas.
Think about how children speak, reflective. They don't wait, they don't organize. They start talking, then adjust while speaking. Adults learning English often do the opposite. They try to finish the sentence before opening their mouth.
And that's why your brain freezes. You're asking it to do too many jobs at the same time. Translate, check grammar, choose vocabulary, remember pronunciation, and manage fear. That's too much for one moment.
So here's a practical shift. Calm instruction. Instead of thinking, what is the correct sentence? Think, what is the first word I can say? Maybe it's, well. Maybe it's, I think. Maybe it's, for me. These small starters give your brain time to breathe.
This is how native speakers buy time. Confident, they don't panic in silence. They use simple sounds and phrases, and you're allowed to do the same. Using these phrases doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're communicating like a real human.
Let's make this even more real. Imagine someone asks you a question and your mind goes blank. Instead of freezing, you can say, let me think. Relaxed tone. That one sentence changes everything. You're no longer silent, you're speaking.
And once you're speaking, the pressure drops. Silence is heavy. The sound is lighter, even imperfect sounds.
Now let's talk about something very important. Practicing alone, but practicing out loud. Emphasis. Many learners say, I practice every day. But when we ask how, they say, I listen, I read, I think. Those are good skills, but they don't train your mouth.
Your mouth needs training too. Smiles and voice. Speaking is physical. Your tongue, lips, and breath need repetition. That's why silent practice feels safe but doesn't help when you need to speak.
So here's a simple daily habit. Just 5 minutes. No mirror, no recording if you don't want it yet. Choose one simple question, like, how is your day? And answer it out loud. Not perfectly, just honestly.
You might say, today was, busy. I worked a lot. I'm tired. That's enough. Don't stop yourself. Don't restart. Let the sentence be messy.
And when you make a mistake, and you will, that's not failure. Reassuring. Mistakes are proof that your mouth is learning to move with English.
Another fear we hear all the time is, what if people don't understand me? This fear is powerful, but here's the truth. Communication is not about perfection. It's about effort. Most people listen with patience when they see you trying.
And when they don't understand, it's not the end of the world. You can repeat, you can rephrase, you can use your hands, you can smile. Communication has many tools.
Let me tell you a small story. I once met a learner who could barely finish a sentence without stopping. He apologized after every word. "Sorry, my English is bad." Over time, we changed one thing. We removed the apology.
Instead of saying sorry, he started saying, "Let me try again." That small change gave him dignity. It told his brain, "I'm allowed to take space."
And that's a message we want you to hear too. You are allowed to take up space in English. Your accent is allowed. Your pauses are allowed. Your mistakes are allowed.
Here's something that might surprise you. Many fluent speakers are not thinking faster than you. They are just less afraid of saying the wrong thing. Confidence is not speed. Confidence is permission.
And permission starts inside. You don't need someone to tell you you're ready. You become ready by speaking anyway.
In the next part, we're going to talk about common mistakes that keep learners stuck and how to escape them without pressure. We'll also reach a turning point where speaking starts to feel lighter.
If this part made you feel seen, that's a good sign. It means your experience is real and change is possible.
When you're ready, tell us to continue. Let's talk about the mistakes that quietly keep people stuck. Not big mistakes, not embarrassing ones, the small habits that feel safe but slowly build fear.
One common mistake is waiting to feel confident before speaking. Many learners tell themselves, "When I feel ready, I'll talk." But confidence doesn't arrive first. It grows after you speak.
Another mistake is comparing yourself to fluent speakers. You hear someone speak smoothly and you think, "I'll never sound like that." But you're comparing your inside to their outside. You don't hear their mistakes. You don't see their learning years.
There's also the habit of stopping mid-sentence to fix yourself. I was sorry. This breaks your rhythm and makes your brain feel unsafe. Sometimes it's better to finish the sentence and move on.
And here's a big one, avoiding speaking situations altogether. You say, "I'll practice later," but later next week, next month, next year. Avoidance feels calm, but it feeds fear.
We want to say this clearly, without judgment. Gently, these habits are normal. They're protective. They're your brain trying to keep you safe. But now it's time to gently choose progress over protection.
This brings us to a turning point. It's the moment many learners describe when something changes. It's not dramatic, it's quiet. They speak once, imperfectly, and nothing bad happens.
No one laughs, no one leaves. The world doesn't end. And in that moment, something shifts. Fear loses a little power.
I remember a learner who told me, "The first time I spoke without preparing, my hands were shaking." But after the sentence was out, he felt relief, not pride, relief.
That relief is important. It teaches your body, not just your mind, that speaking is survivable. And once your body learns that, your voice becomes freer.
Here's the breakthrough idea. Speaking confidence is not built by sounding good. It's built by recovering, by continuing after a mistake, by staying in the conversation.
Let's practice that idea right now. Imagine you say something and the other person looks confused. Instead of panicking, you say, "Let me say it another way." That sentence is powerful. It keeps you moving.
Or you can say, "Sorry, my English is not perfect, but I'll try." That honesty creates connection. People listen differently when you're human.
Now let's talk about real-life applications. Where can you use this today? Start small. A greeting, a short answer, one sentence at the store, one sentence at work, one sentence with a friend.
Set a tiny goal. Not "I will speak fluently," but "I will say one sentence out loud today." Small goals build momentum.
And after you speak, don't analyze everything. Don't replay it again and again. Just notice one thing you did well. Maybe you finished a sentence. Maybe you didn't stop.
We want to give you one simple daily routine. Listen to English, speak 1 minute out loud. That's it. Consistency beats intensity.
And remember, your accent is not a problem. It's a sign of courage. It means you learned another language.
Let's slow down here. Take a breath with us. You don't need to rush your progress. You don't need to impress anyone.
If there's one feeling we want you to leave with, it's permission. Permission to speak before you're ready. Permission to be simple. Permission to be human.
I want to leave you with this thought. It's something a learner once told me, and it stayed with me. The day I stopped trying to sound smart was the day I started sounding clear. That's real growth.
And it's available to you.
So here's your challenge. Today, say one sentence in English out loud, even if it's just to yourself, even if your voice is quiet.
And tomorrow, do it again. Not perfectly, just honestly.
If you stayed with us through all 3 parts, we're proud of you. That tells us something about you. You're serious about change.
And we're glad you're here. You're not behind, you're not broken. You're learning.
Keep speaking. Keep going.
We'll see you next time.